Hello everyone, good day to all. It's early morning here in the Philippines. This is Mike, Mr. Typhoon Padua, returning to our latest update. We are now opening the special coverage on the newly formed yesterday MEKKHALA, and it's now a severe tropical storm, and it has entered the Philippine area of responsibility with the local name Francisco. And this is our initial update for today's Sunday, June 21st, summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and it's already officially summertime. Those living in the United States, China, Canada, Japan, Korea. But if you are in the Philippines, we are still on the beginning of the wet season, although it's quite drier because of the ongoing El Nino. So this is our English version, brought to you by Typhoon 2000 and Naga College Foundation. And before we proceed, we would like to thank our partners, 𝗗𝗶𝗶𝗺𝗶𝗺𝗿 and the local government of Naga City, headed by our Honorable Mayor, 𝗗𝗶𝗃𝗍𝗍, and our Honorable Vice Mayor, 𝗗𝗶𝗃𝗍𝗍. So, well, the storm, which is slowly intensifying on a normal rate, okay, not rapidly, and it's now packing winds of 95 kph. But as we speak right now, it could be 100 or 110 kph. And most likely later today, Sunday, it could become a Category 1 typhoon. And it has entered the Philippine area of responsibility around 10 p.m. based on the PAGASA coordinates of 14 degrees 135. So it's officially named Francisco. So here's the latest fast animation from Himawari 9 water vapor image. This is coming from tropicaltidbits.com, and as you can see, the storm is moving a little faster. From 19, it's now moving at 26 kph, still at westerly track. And if we look or we trace the movement of this, it's moving barely towards the west, but later on, the system will start to move towards the west-northwest in the general direction of the coastal waters of Batanes. So this is the possible path, and we are going to pay attention on this system, especially on Tuesday or Wednesday, if the track will recurve, because most of the computer models are curving it to the east of Batanes, roughly 200 kilometers away. But a sudden shift to the west will affect this area, so we better monitor this system closely. The possibility of raising signals, wind signals number 1 and 2 by PAGASA over Extreme Northern Luzon is highly possible because of the passage so close to the islands, okay? And then across Visayas and Mindanao, you're looking at the convection here. So this is the trough of the storm. So this is bringing some localized thunderstorms across Davao region, northern Mindanao, Caraga. So please take all necessary precautions, those living there, for possible flooding due to severe thunderstorms. And then the Southwest Monsoon is starting to pick up here over the areas of Sarangani, also the Bangsamoro areas, and Zamboanga Peninsula. And then later on, by Monday, Tuesday, it will start to migrate towards Western Visayas, MiMaRoPa, and it could slightly affect Metro Manila. The monsoon is currently not strong enough because of the coincidence of the approach of the dry phase of the Madden-Junior Oscillation, which is inhibiting convection of the southwest monsoon. But there will be southwesterly monsoonal flow beginning Sunday until Wednesday, as the dry phase of the Madden-Junior Oscillation continues to inhibit more convection from the southwest monsoon. And here's the other image. This is the infrared loop from Weather Nerds. So you can see that the more compact the storm is, the more likely that it will continue to intensify. The oceanic heat content is currently at orange colored, okay, meaning it's just on average energy that could boost the intensification of this system. So this is now the image. So the core of this system is currently intensifying. As you can see, the purple color, the purple color means that the storm is getting much moisture along the circulation. And here's the latest from our website. So as of 11 p.m. last night, it's roughly 1,380 kilometers east of Casiguran, over the eastern part of the central Philippine Sea. And it's currently packing sustained winds of 95 kph, 1 minute average, gusting up to 120. Movement is westward at 26 kph towards the North Philippine Sea. And here are the different links. Just visit our website, typhoon2000.ph, for more information regarding this system. This is a portal page which shows to you the different Asian agencies, including JTWC, monitoring this cyclone MEKKHALA, and local name Francisco. So here's the track of 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗃. So based on the forecast for the next 5 days, it will likely recurve or move northward beginning Wednesday or Tuesday, and it is likely to pass over the Ryukyu Islands. It will pass first over the Ishikaki, Jima, Miyako Islands, okay, on Thursday evening, based on the forecast track of 𝗶𝗃𝗃. As you can see here, this is the area of extreme northern Luzon. So they are within the cone of uncertainty, particularly northern Cagayan and Batanes Group of Islands. Those islands east of northern Cagayan, Babuyan is part of northern Cagayan. Okay, so pay attention on the track, since this is still 3 to 4 days before it passes close to Batanes. So there could be more changes on the track of this cyclone. Here's the track of Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Based on their forecast, it could reach peak intensity of almost 200 kph on Tuesday morning, okay, and then it will start to weaken as it moves over unfavorable atmospheric conditions. So that's the scenario of this forecast track of the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Now, for Japan Meteorological Agency, is also similar track of based on 𝗶𝗃𝗃 and JTWC, and they are much weaker, 75 knots, not yet a severe tropical storm based on JMA. And then as we take a look at the multi-model, as we take a look at the multi-agency tracks, you can see here that most of the Asian agencies agree on the forecast track, with little deviation on the northward turn of this system. Okay, so right now the highest intensity is the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, 𝗶𝗃𝗃, and also Beijing and Central Weather Administration of Taiwan. Hong Kong is still below severe tropical storm status. So these are the agencies that are already at severe tropical storm status. Okay, and then as we take a look at the multi-model, this is as of 2 p.m. yesterday, because the latest one will be released later this 4 a.m. It's already 2 a.m. Okay, so most of the physics-based tracks or physics-based model tracks, including the AI, agree that the system will recurve towards Japan. So those living over Japan, Please pay attention on the system, but somewhat a little good news, because the system will start to weaken or dissipate as it approaches Japan because of increasing wind shear and slightly cooler oceanic heat content. And here's the intensity forecast of the storm. Right now it's here at 50 knots, and it looks like there are some models like the CTCI and the Google DeepMind, which is eyeing to forecast the storm to reach its peak intensity of Category 3 to Category 4. Same with the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. So that's the scenario, but we are not going to rule out that the system won't reach super typhoon status, since we are on a El Nino climate. Whenever we have an El Nino, super typhoon classifications are very prone. Okay, so let's observe this small system. So if ever the system is small, it could easily reach super typhoon intensity. So let's take a look at the oceanic heat content. Right now it's so-so, not so warm, not so cold. It's on average roughly at 90 to 100 kilojoules centimeters squared. So that's the heat energy that could boost the system. So it's currently there, the storm. So it's going to intensify at the normal rate. But if you put the storm on this color white, which is 200 kilojoules, it looks like rapid intensification is possible, but we don't know, depending on the other factors involved, like the sea surface temperature, which is currently at 32 degrees, very warm, okay, and other factors like the outflow. If there's a frontal system over Japan that could intensify the outflow of the system, it could also easily reach super typhoon status. So it's not out of the woods. Okay, we'll observe this. Now let's take a look at the rain forecast. This is the 24-hour rainfall forecast accumulation from ECMWF to show you what will be the effect on the monsoon over the Philippines, but it's currently at milder levels because of the dry phase of the Batanes oscillation. So here for today, Sunday, it looks like the monsoon will start to affect Zamboanga Peninsula, Bangsamoro, and parts of Soxagen, those affected by the earthquake, recent earthquake. So please take all necessary precautions for possible flooding. Here's the forecast rainfall of the storm. It's moving at this direction. So you can see the rainfall of more than 100 millimeters. Those color purple, moving towards the west northwest. So this is the trough here, and if we move the slider into Monday, that will be tomorrow. Okay, and you can clearly observe the enhancement of the southwest monsoon over the southern part of Palawan and into the western sections of the Visayas and Zamboanga Peninsula. The rest of the country will only experience isolated to scattered thunderstorms. Okay, and then on Tuesday, the storm is still a small midget-size circulation, and here's the southwest monsoon only affecting the western sections of Negros and Panay, including Guimaras, and the whole of the Sulu archipelago and the Palawan and Zamboanga Peninsula. There are some rains will be expected here, but most of the rainfall is 50 millimeters below. So this is good news, thanks to the dry phase of the modern Julian oscillation, because if it's on a wet phase, we must be prepared for more rainfall. And then on Wednesday, June 24th, as the system starts to move towards the north with this direction. The Southwest Monsoon is expected to migrate more to the north as well, and it will affect the areas of Palawan and Western Panay, Western Negros, and Occidental Mindoro. So the rainfall here again is from 20 to 50 millimeters 24 hours. Okay, so there might be some flooding depending on the force of the severe thunderstorms embedded within the monsoonal flow. And then let's take a look now on Thursday. So on Thursday, the Southwest Monsoon will remain over the area of MiMaRoPa, except for Marinduque, and also affecting the 𝗗𝗀𝗏𝗶𝗺𝗿 archipelago, okay, and then the western sections of Panay. There might be some rainfall as well over the western sections of central Luzon and the southern Luzon because of the Southwest Monsoon, but the rainfall is not heavy enough. There might be a frequency of heavy downpour, but it will not totally add up to 50 millimeters. So on Thursday, the storm is already gone. We already start to show the weakening. I mean, the forecast is showing the weakening of the Southwest Monsoon, but it's still there. And then on Friday, 26, it will remain over the ocean, over the West Philippine Sea, west of Mindoro, but there are some monsoonal rainfall over the area of Bataan, the western sections, and the southern portions of Zambales. And then on Saturday, June 27, back to the usual localized thunderstorms across the western sections of Luzon, including Cordillera Administrative Region and Ilocos Region. Bicol region will also experience some localized thunderstorms, and Visayas. That will be on Saturday, but these forecasts are still uncertain, so we should see some changes in the coming days. Now on the wave heights, here are the forecast on the wave heights. So far, the approach of the system will generate wave heights of especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. Areas of Batanes might have wave heights of 2 to 3 meters, rough and dangerous, and while the rest of the country will remain more than 1 meter, especially over the West and East Philippine Sea, as well as over the central waters of our country through archipelago and surrounding local seas. So that's the forecast so far. If you are a fisherman with small fishing vessels, please avoid fishing during between June 22 to June 26 or 27 because of the Southwest Monsoon. But if you're living over the areas of the central waters of our country, Sulu Archipelago, and the East Philippine Sea, it looks like it will return to 1 meter or below. That will be next weekend, okay, as the system moves over Japan and the enhancement of the Southwest Monsoon decreases. Okay, so that's the latest coverage on the storm. We will return on Monday for another update. This is Mike, Mr. Typhoon Padua. Before I leave you, I would like to greet all the fathers in the world watching our channel a happy Father's Day. Okay, let's hope you will be having some enjoyable celebration on this special day. We'll see you again in the next 24 hours or 24 to 36 hours. And stay safe always. And thank you so much for watching our channel. God bless to all.